Hello and welcome to the Twin Flame Psychology series, episode 3. If you find yourself thinking about your twin flame constantly, you may have asked yourself a painful question: why can't I stop? You may try to distract yourself, tell yourself to move on, and yet somehow your mind keeps returning to them, to the memories, the conversations, the connection. If that's happened to you, I want you to hear something very important. It's not weakness. It's how the human mind responds to unresolved emotional bonds. In this video, we're going to gently explore why twin flame connections can stay in the mind long after the relationship changes. We'll look at rumination, emotional memory, and the way the brain tries to resolve unfinished attachment. Because when we understand what the mind is trying to do, something shifts. Instead of fighting our thoughts, we begin to understand them. And that understanding can be the first step towards finding peace again. So, when something emotionally important happens in our lives, the brain naturally tries to make sense of it. It replays memories, revisits old conversations, looks for clues or meaning. In psychology, this process is called rumination. It's the mind repeatedly returning to the same thoughts or memories. For someone experiencing the twin flame separation, rumination often happens because the relationship ended without clear emotional closure. So the brain keeps revisiting the connection, trying to understand what happened. And it asks questions like, what did it mean? Why did things change? Could something have been different? The mind isn't actually trying to torture you. It's trying to solve something that just feels unfinished. Another reason these thoughts can feel so persistent is something called emotional memory. And that's when we experience powerful emotional moments that the brain stores more strongly than other ordinary experiences. This is why certain conversations and certain moments in time with certain people can stay vivid for years. The brain marks them as important because there was a strong emotion attached to the event that occurred between the people. Connections that feel deeply meaningful often create very, very strong emotional memories. So when the relationship changes or suddenly ends, those memories can't simply just fade away. They remain active. And the brain keeps returning to them like it's flipping through pages in a story that just isn't complete yet. Human beings are naturally wired for attachment. So when we make bonds with someone emotionally, our nervous system begins to include that person as a part of our inner world. They become a part of our daily emotional landscape. And when that bond is suddenly disrupted, the brain doesn't immediately know how to reorganize itself. So it keeps searching for the connection. This is why you might suddenly think about them when you're awake, or when something reminds you of them, or even when you're trying to focus on something entirely different and they creep into your mind. This is the mind trying to reconnect with something that once felt very meaningful. And it's not because you're stuck. It's because attachment bonds take time to release. One of the most important things to understand about the mind is that it naturally seeks completion. When something important ends without any clear understanding or without having closure, the brain keeps returning to it because it wants resolution. It wants the story to make sense. It needs an ending. But sometimes the completion that we're looking for doesn't come from the other person. It comes from gently allowing our mind to process the experience at its own pace. And as this happens over time, the nervous system will begin to settle, and as that happens, new experiences will be allowed to enter our life, and they will eventually loosen the loops and the connection to the memories that we have. They will always remain, but the emotional attachment to them will become a lot softer. They'll stop controlling the present moment and having a hold over us. And then what happens is slowly the mind finds closure that it was looking for all along. If you're thinking about your twin flame often, right now, then please remember this. Your mind is not broken. What's happening to you is perfectly natural and perfectly normal. I've been there. It's simply trying to understand something that mattered so deeply to you. But that understanding can only happen with a lot of patience, self-compassion, and time. And if you give yourself those, the thoughts will begin to quieten. If you are going through this twin flame journey, please remember to be very gentle with yourself. I've been there. I know it's not easy. If you feel like you need a little extra support, I've created a twin flame reset bundle that is designed to calm the nervous system and bring your focus back to yourself. You can find the link in the description below. And if you're curious to understand deeper psychological concepts, then maybe you could explore my V2V method. And the link for that is also in the description. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.